Boys and girls, I have 3 things on the table in front of me, and they help me remember things. I have an American flag. Each time I see the flag, I remember to pray for our country, to pray for our leaders, and to pray for our people. The flag helps me to remember. I have a Bible here. Each time I read the stories in the Bible, I remember that God loves me and that God helps me to love other people. Reading the Bible helps me remember God's love. And I have in front of me a piece of bread. In our Bible story this morning, Jesus is walking with 2 of his disciples, but the disciples don't recognize Jesus. They walk and they talk and they share their memories of all that's happened in Jerusalem. And when they get to the disciples' home, they invite Jesus, who they think is a stranger, in to have a meal with them. Jesus takes the bread, he blesses it, and he breaks it. And all of a sudden, the disciples remember who Jesus is. They recognize that the risen Jesus is right there with them. All of that happened because of the breaking of the bread. Now we in the church, we break bread with each other. Every month we have a communion meal together. And we take bread, we bless it, and break it, and give it to one another. And when we do that, we remember that God loves us, that the Spirit of Jesus is alive, he dwells within us, and he helps us to love God and to love each other. Now, we can't have communion until we gather back together again. But every time you and your family have a meal together, every time there's a piece of bread on your plate, I hope you'll see the bread and remember that God loves you, that the Spirit of Jesus is inside of you, and the Spirit will help you to love God and to love one another. Let's have a prayer together. I'll say the words, you echo them back. Dear God, thank you for Jesus. Thank you for bread. Thank you for all the ways that you love me and help me to love others. Amen.